Our newest yarn at Stephen and Penelope is a thick mohair yarn for fall and winter cozy projects. It's called Big Kid Mohair from Walk Collection, and it's a super big, thick, kind of bulky version of that lace weight mohair that we all love. So the fiber content of this Big Kid Mohair is 78% mohair. So it's mostly mohair with 13% wool and 9% nylon. So it's a big, thick mohair yarn, and it comes in these plump 100-gram skeins. So you get 200 meters in each skein. So it looks all fluffy in the skein, but you can see that really big, chunky, bulky strand of mohair. The thickness of this mohair is about 3 or 4 times as thick as a lace weight mohair. So with just one strand, 100 grams of this, you can get a lot of fluffy goodness in those big brioche projects or even a bulky weight sweater or shawl pattern. So when I'm saying bulky, it means you can knit it up on a 6 to 8 millimeter needle, or like up to like a US 9, US 10, even a US 11 needle size would be really nice. This is with a 6 millimeter needle, and you can see because it's that fluffy fiber content, it really fills out the stitches and you get that super fluff factor in your knitting. So when I saw this yarn for the first time, I immediately started dreaming of penguono projects. This would be so beautiful, just one skein of it in a penguono project, thrown in with your stash, other worsted weight yarns and DK weight yarns. You could even hold a strand of fingering weight together with this to get a big bulky gauge. So I think one of these colors, or this lime soda color, this one's my favorite. It's like a neon tennis ball. It is so bright. This would be so cool as like a border of your penguono or a little contrast stripe in your DK and worsted weight shawls. So it's quite a chameleon yarn weight. So you're gonna get 200 meters per 100 grams, which is usually like a DK weight yarn when we're talking about wool, but you can knit it with a bulky gauge because it's so fluffy. But with 200 meters per 100 grams, that means you can also mix it with all of your DK and worsted weight yarns. So a lot of my brioche projects that have DK weight as the main color, you could use this Big Kid Mohair as your contrast color for that fluffy brioche. I do this a lot with the Ching Fiber Melted Baby Surrey to get that look that the wool is resting on a frothy floating cloud of mohair. So with a US 6 4 millimeter needle, you can also work with this yarn. It becomes a little bit more dense. You can see those brioche stitches on the wrong side are a bit more dense and smaller stitches, but it works because the thickness of the fiber is like a DK weight thickness, but if you want to knit it at the bulky gauge, you can because of the fluff. So this is on a 6 millimeter needle, and this is on a 4 millimeter needle. So it's quite a chameleon, and it comes in so many squishy soft colors. So my favorite, this is lime soda. Just one skein of this would be fantastic in a penguono. And we've also got Secret. This is like a lavender gray, smoky purple color, Secret. Swimming Pool, this is a really bright aqua turquoise blue-green color. And one of my other favorites is this grungy green, Olivia. This is so yummy. It looks really thick and plump in the skein, but again, here's the fiber thickness. It's quite thick, about 3 or 4 times as thick as your lace weight mohair. And this is Walk Collection's lace weight kid mohair. So it's really skinny, that original lace weight mohair. And so you can see the difference of thickness. It's about 3 or 4 times as thick as that skinny mohair. So just like you add mohair to all those fingering weight shawls, this is your mohair spice it up, mohair spice alternative for all those DK and worsted weight shawls. So you could throw some of this into a Pierre shawl or a slumber shawl in the border of your slumber shawl. But I think a penguono, even with all of these, like a little cotton candy penguono would be so much fun. And another project that you could do that the people at Walk Collection had knit up was this really beautiful coral sweater that used only 4 skeins of yarn. This is called There, and the pattern's on Ravelry, There, and it's done with 4 skeins. So you just pick one color, and it's done at like a bulky weight gauge. So with a big needle, similar to what I was doing with this swatch, you could get 4 skeins of the Big Kid Mohair and knit that There sweater. Really beautiful with little lace kind of eyelet textures on the sleeves of that sweater. So that version was knit by Sina. I'll put her Ravelry name here. If you want to see some more project details from her project on Ravelry, that's her Ravelry username for the sweater. And I think just a cozy winter sweater would be super warm and really fun to knit with this colorful new yarn. So that's the fiber content, and one other project with this mohair yarn that could get you inspired for brioche is my new Brio Clava. This is a new pattern that's just coming out in the Westknits world, and it's one color of DK weight yarn, and you can use that as the main color, like Westwool Tandem. You could use as the main color. Oh, so cozy. And the inside, is super fluffy. So any of those fluffy yarns you have, I can use that Melted Baby Surrey from Ching Fiber. I use this fiber a lot. So it's a similar thickness. Any of those projects that you've used the Melted Baby Surrey with, the Big Kid Mohair is a really similar thickness to that Melted Baby Surrey, but with more of a mohair content. Super soft, super fluffy, really similar to that Melted Baby Surrey thickness. So if you've knitted with Melted Baby Surrey, that gives you a good idea of the thickness of what to expect, but it's a little bit more long and hairy, I have to say, with this Big Kid Mohair. It gives you even more of that fluff factor. So really soft next to the skin. So just one skein of this Big Kid Mohair with one skein of Westwool Tandem would give you this cozy Brio Clava winter accessory. Lots of fun options to choose from, using that mohair on the inside and then Westwool on the outside. This could be really cool with the lime soda, with Tandem in Dutch Sky, a little gray and grello neon yellow pop. You could do the dark Wellington with Olivia. That would be really beautiful and grungy. This is a green one I made with sage as the main color. So you can go really bold with a color pop for that fluffy contrast color on the inside, and then maybe a more neutral or a darker color for the main color. Or to like go crazy. What else do we have? Maybe like, this chestnut with the lavender. Ooh, I think I have to do it. This has to go with everything. Oh, now we're talking contrast. So have fun. This is the Brio Clava. It's coming out. It's on Ravelry and Westknits.com. And then all these mohair yarns from What Collection you can find at StephenandPenelope.com. And we also just got a big restock of their lace weight, Kid Mohair lace. So if you want some of that lace weight original mohair silk, you can get that at Stephen and Penelope and the big 100 gram Big Kid Mohair. Super fun. I can't wait to see what you make with this yarn. So let me know in the comments down below if you have some other project ideas, like a bulky sweater or like a big cozy DK or worsted weight shawl that you think this yarn would be really beautiful on. Let me know in the comments and we can get inspired by some cozy fall winter project ideas. So I can't wait to work more with this yarn and design some other things for it. But let me know what you're gonna make with the yarn, and I can't wait to see what colors you pick. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.